You as a man have to face something most people will never tell you. The men who leave permanent marks on women's lives are not always the ones who bring peace. More often, it's the ones who introduce a subtle kind of chaos. Not loud, not violent, but the kind of psychic interruption that unsettles her sense of who she is. The kind of presence that fractures her certainty. There's a philosopher, Jacques Lannes, who once said, "Desire is a relation of being to lack." It's not about what a woman says she wants. It's not about flowers, affection, or sweet words. It's about what remains out of reach, what slips away and makes her come alive again through the ache of incompletion. That's why the ruthless man lingers in her memory, not because he gave her pain, but because he gave her lack. She didn't really fall in love with him. She fell into a need around him. Not logical need, not practical need, a deep, unconscious need. He became the symbol of everything unresolved within her. He became the absence that awakened a part of her that was too wild for routine, too primal for safety. This man never explained himself. He didn't beg for her understanding. And that silence, his refusal to bend into her narrative, became poetry in her mind. An unwritten verse echoing through every new relationship. Every man who comes after, who loves her sincerely, ends up competing against the ghost of the man who didn't need her at all. Lan also said, "What constitutes fantasy is precisely the relation to that which is unspeakable." And this is exactly why that man became her fantasy. Because he never gave her language to pin him down. She couldn't name what they were. She couldn't define what he felt. And in that ambiguity, her fantasy was born and left starving. You listening to this now, you have to see it clearly. She doesn't dream about the man who checked off her list, who matched her expectations. She dreams about the one who cracked her reflection, the one who made her feel both small and infinite at the same time. That is the man her body still reacts to, even if her mind curses his name. She may call him toxic. She may say he was cruel. But what she'll never admit out loud is this. He gave her the rarest experience of all. He gave her the feeling of being completely out of control. That's why she searches his name online. That's why she keeps comparing. That's why the new man in her life never feels like quite enough, because he didn't leave her wanting. And wanting, Lan reminds us, is the birthplace of desire. The ruthless man is not a villain. He is a mirror, a rupture, a signal from her unconscious that there is more to feel,